Attention! Americans have the freedom of choice, and your choice for professional wrestling should be the American Wrestling Federation.
It's the American Wrestling Federation Warriors of Wrestling. I'm Nick Karsh along with Terry Taylor. And brother, what a week we had.
Yes, we do. Put on those seatbelts and the crash helmets. Scheduled to appear on this show, America's hero, Sergeant Slaughter. Also, Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. We're going to see you in tag team competition in the tournament. Konnan 2000 and Chris Adams going against the SST, and also the Vicious Renegades going up against Mr. Hughes and also Hercules, a cornucopia of competition.
Well, that it is. Let's turn it over to our ring announcer, Billy Anderson.
This first match is scheduled for 3 rounds. It is a tag team bout. Introducing first at a combined weight of 589 pounds, they are the Samoan Swat team.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to take a look at perhaps, I'm going to say it, Terry Taylor, the ugliest tag team in professional wrestling.
Well, as long as you and I are around, they have to be. We're handsome men. A cornucopia, what? A plethora, a cacophony.
Oh, they are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. The tag team that is impervious to pain. The tag team that we have seen hit each other with garbage can covers, tables, and chairs. The Samoan SWAT team.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 492 pounds, the team of Konnan 2000 and gentleman Chris Adams.
Well, here we go. Gentleman Chris Adams and his new partner. That has to be Konnan 2000. What happened was Nails and the Executioner over in Europe beat up Too Cold Scorpio. Couldn't make the cut. And Konnan 2000 jumped right out of the fire into the frying pan or something like that. And he's in here as Chris Adams' partner. And I'll tell you what, could it get any tougher than going up against the SST?
I cannot imagine. You know, certainly he realized that Chris Adams was in a bind, and he wants to be a part of this situation. But for heaven's sakes, to face the SST early on here, that's walking into a nightmare.
Yeah, it really is. And I love our sport. I mean, I've been in professional wrestling. I've had a 15-year glorious career. It takes all types. You look at the musculature on Konnan 2000. You see Chris Adams, who is a great athlete. You look across the ring, and you see two, I'd say dump trucks, but they might hear me and come over here and chop me. I mean, just two renegade trains that can just mow anybody over. And, I mean, these two guys, these Samoans are unbelievable.
Terry, we've talked so many times about Samoan wrestlers throughout history in professional wrestling. It's a different style, a different technique. You call them savage, I have to agree with you, but they don't feel pain. You beat on them all night long, all day long. They just don't care.
Yeah, well, the whole island is like that. Samoa is a tough way to live. Not too long ago, these guys were chasing their dinner down, and right now they're chasing the tag team titles, and they have to get through Konnan 2000 and Chris Adams to do it.
And ladies and gentlemen, in the American Wrestling Federation, of course, 3 4-minute rounds. If there is no clear winner at the end of that time, the referee keeps a tally, his own scorecard. He makes the decision. Over the top now, Adams. Oh, he got a little hung up there. Oh, he drilled it right to the lower abdomen. Chris Adams a little frustrated. Now he is unloading.
That's Samu that's in there.
Oh, what a chop.
Boy, Chris Adams was the first one to throw a punch, and I think all it did is, like you said, didn't hurt Samu. It just made him mad. And Chris Adams, right there at the end of that exchange, knew he was getting the short end of the stick. tagged in the fresh man. That's good strategy.
And look at Konnan 2000. Would you say he's ready? He's all fired up right now. Referee Jesse Hernandez has the other man out of the ring. Hernandez is about as big as the Samoans as I'm looking here.
Well, I'm not going to touch that. Jesse Hernandez, he's about 290. Samoans at 25 each. And Konnan 2000, he's 5'10", but what a powerhouse. 237 pounds and built like a brick. No, you know.
I know. Now the referee is admonishing Konnan 2000.
For what?
Well, the Samoan is claiming that there was a yank of the hair, and Hernandez apparently bought into it. It looked like a legitimate shoulder tackle to me. But then that's why I'm out here and Jesse's in there.
Well, Jesse is a well-rounded individual. 60-inch chest, 60-inch waist, 60-inch hips. He is well-rounded. And a pretty good official, too. Takes you 5 minutes just to walk around him on a break. Say something, Mick.
You're something else.
Boy, am I. Right here, now, this is a test of strength and leverage. The center of strength is the, can I say the buttocks? Sure. Okay, well, the buttocks, and right here, it's hard to believe that Konnan 2000 looks like he spent a lot of time in the weight room, got the better of this. A lot of technique here in wrestling, but right here, just pure strength. Uh-oh, look at Samu perched on the top.
Well, we've seen him come off that top rope like a 747 more than once. Oh, there's a boot right to the midsection. I shouldn't say a boot, those are those bare toes.
That's free toes.
Man.
Free toes right to the stomach.
Chris Adams looking very concerned on the outside of the ring. Konnan 2000 has to make a tag here. There's that double headbutt. And I'll tell you, those heads are as hard as coconuts, believe me. He's trying to get over it. Adams fell asleep at the switch a little bit there. As we're under 30 seconds, Chris caught napping on that rope, and he caught it. And now look at this double team.
Right there's nothing wrong with that. That's an old-fashioned clubbering, if you will. Clubbering.
Clubbering.
That's a clubbering. Yeah.
Down to 13 seconds now. Konnan fighting back.
Man, I thought we were going to see a fight here and watch a wrestling match break out.
We are in the waiting seconds of this round. Gentlemen, Chris Adams enters the ring. And here comes the bell, and that's it.
Yeah, well, speaking of that's it, let's have Jeff Gaylord, one half of the Renegades, talking about his matchup coming later in this hour.
Oh, Mr. Hughes, Hercules, you guys want to take on the greatest athlete, pound for pound, in wrestling today, Jeff Gaylord. And you want to take on the most powerful wrestler in wrestling today, the Warlord. The two of us together are unbeatable. And baby, when you get in the match with us, we're gonna flatten you like the pancakes you are, because there ain't gonna be nothing stopping, and you can take a look at this and eat your heart out.
The Renegades take on Hercules and Mr. Hughes later this hour. We're coming back for round two. Stay with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And between rounds, referee Jesse Hernandez showed us his scorecard. He gave round one, Terry, to the SST.
Yeah, I would too. Matter of fact, speaking of good-looking young guys, where's Resnick? SST, Resnick.
You're comparing, wow, that's ridiculous. Ken Resnick, our distinguished broadcast colleague, as we speak, is at the White House in Washington, D.C.
With Alperstein?
No, a different president. Ken Resnick was actually invited by Jack Shaughnessy for a personal meeting with our distinguished president, Bill Clinton. Big shoulder tackle by Konnan 2000. Over the top now. Oh, clothesline. He backed him up. And oh, he's all hung up right now.
Look at Adams trying to get in. The ropes are all tied up. He can't get in.
Oh, no.
Boy, I'd like to see you do that one time.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. Oh. Well, that'll turn a match around in a hurry.
If nothing else. Ooh, man, shot to the throat. Chris Adams, that low blow stopped him. Now, look at little Sam at 313 pounds. That's 5 pounds less than his brother, Samu. Double team effort, got 5 seconds.
Oh, they drilled it. Chris Adams is in trouble. You know, Terry, it appears to me that for some reason, maybe it's the Too Cold Scorpio was not there. Chris Adams has appeared to be off his game plan right from the outset.
Well, you know the winner of this match, 1, 2, the winner of this match is going to take on Nails and the Executioner next week. What if it was the SST? I mean, what a devastating matchup that would be. Great. What was that, a gut wrench?
Right on the hip. Drops the leg. And Chris Adams really is in trouble here. I don't know what it is, but he has been dominated by the SST right from the opening bell.
Could it be because of the bad feelings he has? I mean, he wants to get to the Nails and Executioner next week. I don't know. Well, that's a tactical mistake right there. But look, they can't block this big man. Little Sam is getting hit, but can't get knocked off his feet.
Konnan 2000 is taking care of business. No effect whatsoever.
What's he looking at you for? He looked over here at you. Well, you hit those Samoans in the head. That's a mistake.
It's all broken loose right now. Jesse Hernandez has to maintain some control here. Oh, no, Adams is in trouble. Oh, over the top.
That's the only way they can knock that little Sam down. Can't hit the step. Super kick. Boy, did he nearly with that. He's out like a light.
Konnan from the top. Here's the cover. This one is over. Gentlemen, Chris Adams and Konnan 2000 have dispatched the SST.
Yeah, they're going to move on to next week. It doesn't get any easier. They're going to be going up against Nails and the Executioner, the ones that got rid of Too Cold Scorpio.
Well, Terry, it just shows you how quickly a match can turn around. We mentioned Jesse Hernandez gave round 1 to the SST, but lo and behold, Adams and Konnan get the Duke here in round 2.
Yeah, unbelievable matchup. That quick, it only takes 3 seconds. Chris Adams sees a mistake by the SST, super kick, and then that great splash by Konnan 2000.
Well, if Chris was off his game plan, that super kick certainly evened everything up at the end of that bout. And the SST are living in the ring.
And the American Wrestling Federation t-shirt, they almost come in your size, Bart, double medium. Shot to the throat. You can see that right in the goozle pipe area. Chris Adams gasping for air. Double team tries to get the hands up to block it. Doesn't quite do it. Double headbutt there. He throws their heads together. Looks over here at me for approval. You don't get it. And a double headbutt. Bang. That'll give you a bad attitude. Down goes Konnan 2000. See how the Samoans use their heads as a weapon? Unbelievable here. And then you see the beginning of the end. Right here, little Sam gets nailed by his partner, Samu. Look at the force driving him all the way over the top rope. That leaves Samu in there by himself. He eats a super kick and then gets splashed.
And right now, the victorious team of Adams and Konnan 2000 are standing by with our broadcast colleague, Chris E. Chris, take it away.
What a tremendous victory for the powerful tag team of Konnan 2000 and Gentleman Chris Adams. And now it's on next week to the quarterfinals between them and Nails and the Executioner. A revenge match that I'm sure will provide much motivation for the two of you.
Hey, you're right. You know, the SST, not an easy team to beat. And Nails, you've been going around saying the only reason that I am here is because I wasn't in Europe when you put Too Cold Scorpio out. Well, you're wrong, because not only am I here, I've got one of the best tag team partners I need ever to have. And you know what? Revenge is on my mind. So, Nails, I'm coming after you with my partner, 2000.
That's right, Chris. The deed has been done. The contracts are signed. And now there's no running, there's no hiding, baby. You're gonna have to face us, and you will face us.
We'll be right back.
This match is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first from Montana, weighing 275 pounds, T-Rex.
Bang a goal! Get it on, T-Rex.
And his opponent from Kansas City, weighing 235 pounds, Cowboy Bob Orton Jr.
Well, here comes the last angry man, Cowboy Bob Orton Jr., managed by Sir Oliver Humperdinck.
I thought you called him a troll.
That he is. Bob Orton Jr. has been bombarding President Paul Alperstein with telephone calls. He has camped on his doorstep demanding a return bout with Tito Santana for the American Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship. Humperdinck, for heaven's sakes, has been sending threatening letters to every board member in the American Wrestling Federation. Granted, Orton, a tremendous athlete, a great superstar, but the president has made it very clear the champion has commitments that were made even before he won the championship in the finals of the tournament, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, well, the way I look at it is Bob Orton Jr. had to wrestle 3 other men to get to the finals. He did that. Maybe that was the difference. Was it where his match is tougher than Tito's? I don't know. But the bottom line is he should be the #1 contender. He's forcing the issue, and I think it's up to Zapperstein to come through with a... What are you doing?
I'm not doing it.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to talk here.
Boy, you're easily distracted.
Well, I'm trying to say Zapperstein should give him a match.
Zapperstein.
Well, bottom line is Orton's a #1 contender. Quit making him wait.
In behind T-Rex and a nice reversal. Nice go behind. And now Orton, a tremendous amateur wrestler in his own right before he got into the pro ranks.
Yeah, when you get into the pros, it's making money. And the way to make money is to win the tag team tournament. Next week, Coco Beware and Mr. USA will be taking on the Sheik's men, Fidel Sierra and Ron Powers. Let's hear what they have to say.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My man promised me the title, and we know who we are wrestling. How about it, my man? It's only a matter of time. Now we know it's the Birdman and Mr. USA. And when it's all over, vamos acabar con ustedes. We're gonna finish with you. The gold is all.
That's coming up next week. The Sheik's Army taking on Coco Beware and Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Who is that other member of Sheik's Army there? The harem girl.
You mean the blonde with the full figure, the voluptuous rounded body? I don't know. I can't look because I'm a happily married man. Right, dear?
Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. as we get a look at Sir Oliver Humperdinck in the corner.
Yeah, he's got those Kyle Petty STP glasses on. You see that little emblem on the eyeball? He'll do anything to plug somebody gratuitously.
Cowboy Bob Orton Jr., a second-generation wrestler. His father, Bob Orton Sr., a great star of the 50s and 60s. No doubt, Bob Orton Jr. has surpassed his father's greatness, but he took a great shot at 3, right to the head and 4. Look at T-Rex unloading.
275-pound T-Rex, Mike Bowling.
Oh,
what a move, man!
Oh,
almost over the top rope, and now T-Rex did back up a little bit. He's going into no hesitation. You got to follow up against a superstar like Orton.
Oh, he telegraphed it.
How come the second I say that, he does that?
Well, just that split second you give Bob. Oh, what a drop kick.
Did you see the heel of the boot right into the face?
Tremendous elevation. This is a great athlete in Bob Orton Jr. There's no question. Oh,
it was a wrestling move, though. I mean, he drop kicked the guy. Now watch this. This right here is an attitude adjustment.
You know, he hangs the man there in that pile driver position. It's insult to injury, and this one is over. Very impressive by the man who says he is the #1 contender for Tito Santana's championship.
Well, I can't argue with him. He used wrestling. T-Rex fought back, had great heart, great desire. Boy, look at that bug. He's a handsome man, isn't he?
Well, he certainly is, and you've got the pleasure of trying to talk to this individual.
Yeah, I'm going to head down there now and see if I can't get an interview with these two guys.
Well, there you see it in the ring right now, ladies and gentlemen. A very happy Sir Oliver Humperdinck and Cowboy Bob Orton Jr., who mounts that second rope to plead his case to a very unappreciative crowd. And Bob Orton, as we said, he wants Tito Santana the worst way. We're going to take a look at some of the concluding moments of this one. Caught him with that shot. Now look at this drop kick. That heel right to the jaw. For all intents and purposes, it was over right there. T-Rex really on dizzy street from that point on. A tremendous body slam. Orton posing to the crowd. And this is his signature move, that pile driver. Believe me, he got every bit of it. It was a game battle, but T-Rex, not enough for Bob Orton Jr. Let's send it to Terry. Oh, I don't want to look at that. Terry is standing by at ringside with Orton Jr. and Humperdinck.
Cowboy Bob Orton Jr., another great victory. Matter of fact, the only match you lost is the
championship match to Tito Santana.
Yes, the championship match to Santana. But let me tell you something. I am the #1 contender. Wouldn't you agree? After beating everybody I wrestle like a dog, I feel Santana's dodging me. I'm #1 contender. Santana should be man enough to meet me in the ring instead of running all over the country and the world.
He's got to defend that title against everybody all over the world.
Let me tell you something there, Pally, you with that shirt and tie and those pair of glasses on. Tito Santana is nothing. In fact, you're not going to have the pleasure of seeing Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. wrestle again until Tito Santana finds the intestinal fortitude to put that brand new belt on the line against the man who should have been wearing it all along. We took it to the finals, Tito. We took it right down to the line. And now you're walking around with what belongs to him. Well, it's just a matter of time, Mr. Announcer, before he's wearing the gold, and I'm going to be the happiest man on the face of the planet.
Well, you heard it right here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after these commercial words.
Taking the words, run to the border. Carson.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a very vicious Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. still clearly upset. He wants Tito Santana.
Yeah, and why don't you snap to attention? Up next, Sergeant Slaughter. Drop and give me 20.
I can't.
This match is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first, weighing 232 pounds, the Terrorist.
Well, this is a man, pardon the expression, that's tailor-made for a guy like Sergeant
Slaughter. Paris
Slaughter.
Island, South Carolina, weighing 305 pounds. He is America's hero, Sergeant Slaughter.
All right, stand up and salute. Here comes the Sarge, everybody. America's hero, Sergeant Slaughter. The crowd just absolutely loves this man whenever and wherever he appears, handing out the American flag. And I guarantee you, Sarge is looking forward to getting into the ring with a man by the name of the Terrorist.
Yeah, it's almost too good to be true. You see a guy, Sergeant Slaughter, a great patriot, going up against a guy calling himself the Terrorist. Wow, I can't wait to see Sergeant Slaughter hand out those flags, get in there and see what he's got going against a guy called the Terrorist. You know, that's my whole name, Terrorist Taylor.
It is, huh? Parents didn't like you right from birth.
Wait a minute. Dr. Paul and Barbara love their little boy.
The USA and Sergeant Slaughter, ladies and gentlemen, they go hand in hand. Look at the response that the Sarge gets from this crowd. High-fiving everybody. This country loves him, and if you're going to have anybody, I've said it before, get into the ring with anyone who has anti-American sentiment, this is the man that you want to send in.
Always has been. Always.
That's a great shot, the American flag. You can see Sergeant Slaughter saying, #1 always has been, always will be. I've been around the world. I've seen the way it is, and there's no place like the United States of America.
Listen to this crowd. The Terrorist he's livid. He's having a stroke in there listening to this USA chant.
A stroke?
Sergeant Slaughter, and we know, Terry, that he is still feeling some disappointment over not being a part of the Tag Team Championship tournament along with Tito Santana, but he'll bounce back. The Sarge refocused already, and I guarantee you his mind is on nothing but the Terrorist right now.
Yeah, that's one thing about Sergeant Slaughter. Maybe it's that military discipline. He's always focused, and I love it right there. Take care of that hat. I earned it. What a gravel voice. Ted Hunt, as you were, Karsh.
Easy, you'll hurt yourself. You want a throat drop here?
Is that a wrestling move?
The Terrorist now, let's see if he's going to break cleanly along the rope. Sarge didn't give him an opportunity. I think Sarge smelled a rat there and got out of harm's way before the Terrorist had an opportunity to unload a haymaker. Yeah. Listen to this crowd again. They just love Sergeant Slaughter. And you know, before we forget, let's talk just for a second about Bob Orton Jr. That's an angry individual.
Yeah, I was out there doing that interview, and you know, guys like Sergeant Slaughter take on guys like Bob Orton Jr., but Orton Jr. is almost obsessed with Tito Santana, that American Wrestling Federation Championship.
Well, he could be as obsessed as he wants, but he doesn't have a lock on title shots. I guarantee you the Sarge would love to get a shot at the title, whether Tito, his friend, is holding it or not.
Yeah, wait a minute. Hey, oh, yeah. American Heroes. Valiant Slaughter out there. I'm American Dream, baby. Loud in color. Put it if you will.
Could Terry have his headset back, please? Thank you, sir.
I can't stand it, Mick. Change seats with me. Every time I'm sitting here, somebody yanks me out. And Sergeant Slaughter's out here taking on the terrorist, and I'm getting attacked.
Listen to this. Oh, Sarge got it right in the eye. The terrorist, figuring that he was not handling Sergeant Slaughter's case at all, resorted to the eye gouge. And right now, the Sarge from Paris Island is in some trouble. The terrorist continues to...
USA this. Well, when you're in there against Sergeant Slaughter, you better take care of business, because this guy's been in this position before. He has been down, he has been out, but he comes back. And here he comes.
You do not want to anger Sergeant Slaughter. You're going to pay a price sooner or later, and the terrorist is doing that right now. Sarge dropped him like a bad habit, and he is really loaded for bear now. Big mistake, Mr. Terrorist. Oh, he's winding up. Oh, a shot very reminiscent of a man that I watched as a youngster from Milwaukee, the legendary Crusher. And there's that Slaughter cannon, and now signaling for the Cobra clutch. The terrorist made a big mistake when he ruffled the feathers of the Sarge.
Yeah, right here, he's got the neck Cobra clutch. Nobody gets out of that. Instant submission. Sergeant Slaughter, you don't realize how big this guy is. He's 6'6", 305 pounds. He puts those arms around your neck. Turn out the lights. The party's over.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, they are on their feet here this week in tribute to the one and only Sergeant Slaughter. The USA loves Sergeant Slaughter. Indeed, the fans saluting. What a great man.
Now, there he is. You see the young ladies even salute. We talked about Bill Clinton. He lets everybody in the military. They don't make them like Sergeant Slaughter anymore. Right there, a knee to the boiler. You see him locked up there with a terrorist, and this is what turned the tide. Raking that eye. Sergeant Slaughter took some punishment. There's your move. The big wind-up, ladies and gentlemen. Crushes him. Bam, right in the chin. Loads up that Slaughter cannon. Boom! Right across the goozle pipe in the chin. Down he goes. Sergeant Slaughter hooks him in the Cobra clutch. Come here, Carson. Give me that arm. I want to do it to you.
You let go. Where's Alperstein? Let go.
Who cares?
Sergeant Slaughter victorious over the terrorist. Another victory for the good old USA. The terrorist made a big, big mistake.
Yeah, right here, you see the ring filling up. Celebration, USA #1. Speaking of things to celebrate, let's celebrate with our broadcast partner, Chris E.
Another victory for Sergeant Slaughter, and another victory last week for my guest here, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, and Coco Beware. Congratulations, you defeated an unknown team, the Super Destroyers.
Well, you see, Chrissy, that's in the past now. But we're looking at Fidel and Powers this week because we want to move on up the ladder, baby. And I tell you, we can't wait to put those belts around our waist. Isn't that right, Mr. Atlas?
That's right. You know, but one thing you can't underestimate any wrestler in the American Wrestling Federation. First of all, Fidel and Power, they just as rough, just as tough in any competition in the world today. You don't get in the American Wrestling Federation by being no chump. You got to be a top-ranked wrestler in order to be here. So me and Coco, we know we got our hands full. No matter who get in that ring with us, we know we got the fight of our life. And the thing at the end of the rainbow is them championship belts. Yep. And we want to get to the end of the rainbow. In any way that we can, we will.
Well, you have to go through Fidel Sierra and Ron Powers next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first the manager, Sheik Adnan El Casey.
I don't like this guy.
He represents at a combined weight of 615 pounds, the team of Hercules and the roughneck, Mr. Hughes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the match we anticipating this could be World War III. Konnan LKC leads the team of the roughneck Mr. Hughes and Hercules to the ring. What a vicious combination this is, Terry.
Yeah, these guys are motivated by money. Look at the size of them, over 600 pounds combined weight. They're going up against another team as big, as strong, and as nasty. I can't wait to see these guys tear into each other.
You've got that Arab oil money behind the team of Hercules and Mr. Oh, I'm sorry. I won't say another word. Ooh.
I'll tell you what, he's a monster.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 602 pounds, the Renegades!
Well, it goes from bad to worse and bigger still. Ladies and gentlemen, the Renegades about to make their way to the ring. Jeff Gaylord and the Warlord. I can only tell you for this one, you're going to need to measure it with the Richter scale.
What a war this is going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We'll be back with round one.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and batten down the hatches. This one is going to be a war. You have 4 men in the ring right now, Terry Taylor. Certainly the scientific knowledge is... I'm moving. The scientific knowledge is there somewhere, but they would much rather poke out an eye, kick somebody in the mouth. That's the kind of wrestler you have in all 4 of these individuals.
Sounds like a Cars family get-together.
It does.
The bottom line is the winner of this match takes on Valentine and Rich in the quarterfinals. And if you want to see Valentine and Rich, plus Konnan, Adams, and a plethora of American Wrestling Federation stars, and you're in the panhandle of Texas, Victoria on the 7th of July, and in Mission, it's a homecoming for the world champion. Tito Santana will be coming home. You'll see Sergeant Slaughter, Coco Beware, Mr. USA, Bob Orton Jr., Konnan 2000, and a bevy of fabulous wrestlers. Maybe even me.
You might be there, and ladies and gentlemen, we can only urge you to get out. You know, when you watch it on television, it's terrific, but being there in a wrestling match live and in person, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, especially when you're wrestling in it like these guys are. This matchup, I'll tell you, I figured these guys were going to start slow because they're so big and so strong and so much on the line. If they make a mistake, it's over and they're out.
You've got 2 Mack trucks colliding right there, and neither one is giving an inch. Mr. Hughes and Jeff Gaylord, 2 real powerhouses. Konnan LKC spewing out whatever it is he says at ringside there. I have not liked that man for years. I won't like him tomorrow.
Well, I think you're going to get an ulcer if you don't learn how to say what's on your mind, Nick. But here's somebody else who's going to say what he has on his mind. It's Rico Suave, the manager of Valentine and Rich, who will take on the winners of this match.
It's so nice having a bye in the tag team tournament. You know something? I am right now letting the boys relax on my 65-foot yacht. They've got a few girls in bikinis with some champagne and caviar. They're relaxing, they're getting some sun, and they're taking care of business the way business was meant to be taken care of. I, on the other hand, have a terrible task. I've got to sit through one of the most boring matches against the Renegade and Mr. Hughes and Hercules. You know something? They're okay. But when you put 4 lugs in the ring like they are, I can almost predict the outcome. No matter who wins, they can't keep up with our finesse, our speed, and our style.
Well, there's a man certainly lacking in confidence. He's a 65-foot yacht himself.
Wow. What a shoulder block by Hughes. This guy, Gaylord, in Kansas, was an All-American lineman, a 600-pound bench presser, and I think he's looking across the line right now at Mr. Hughes, who's also went to Kansas and is also a great offensive lineman.
And you know something, dudes? If I was in the ring right now, I could handle all these guys. They're almost too big for me to handle, but I know I can do it, man.
Wait a minute. Take off the headband, rip the shirt off, and go back to the locker room. Give Terry the microphone back.
All right, dude. Well, if I have to go, I will, man.
Every time you turn around, somebody's stealing your chair. Oh, he ducks the clothesline, does Hughes. Oh, man! That is the first time that I can remember seeing Mr. Hughes leveled by a shoulder tackle.
Hughes is 6'5", 345 pounds, and he's in there against a guy bigger than him right now in the Warlord.
seconds left, and they're not even trying to win at the end of this round.
We got more percussion than a marching band in there right now. There's a thumb in the eyes of the Warlord. Oh, what a first round hammer and toss.
Well, wait a second. See, now that's what Alpha Steve was talking about. It's hard to just turn it off. Punch thrown at the bell.
Well, if I was that ring attendant, I'd keep that stool away from both of these tag team combinations.
Wait a second. They only have one stool and two guys. What happens in each corner?
I'm not going to get in the middle of
Fight over that?
Absolutely not. Ladies and gentlemen, this one continues. We want you to stay with us. Round 2 of this titanic tag team matchup coming up. The action continues, and while we were away, ladies and gentlemen, this one kept going. The bad-mouthing, the pushing, and the shoving, even between rounds. The tension here, these two tag teams are about to explode.
Yeah, Jesse Hernandez, the referee, came over and showed us his scorecard. While he was doing that, these guys were cutting interviews and promos on each other about how tough they were and what they were going to do. Jesse Hernandez scored that first round even.
Well, I would have to agree with that. Certainly no clear advantage in that first round. This is... Wait a minute. Oh, look at this stare down now. Hercules and the Warlord.
These guys at one time, a few years ago, were tag team partners. You got to understand, the stakes are so high here. Oh, look at him go! Anybody against anybody. No friends. The American Wrestling Federation Tag Championship on the line.
And here they go again. Oh, that time, the Warlord leveled Hercules with that clothesline.
See, sometimes you get mono. You just go mano a mano, and you don't think. The Warlord used his head and his arm as a clothesline, and he took Hercules down.
You know, all 4 of these men are giants of the ring, but Terry, you know, you've stood next to the Warlord. You can't appreciate how big this man really is. Blocked by Hercules, and now he's firing back.
You can see those shots rattling the quick cam, but that's 7 punches by a 300-pounder, and he still couldn't drop the Warlord.
Am I seeing a wrestling hold here?
Yeah, but there won't be any next week as Chris Adams and Konnan 2000 take on these 2 men.
Chris Adams, we hurt your partner, Scorpio, so you went out and got what you think is a real man who calls himself Konnan. Well, let me tell you something. There's nobody, and I mean nobody, tougher than Nails and the Executioner.
Oh, I'm not going to argue with him. I guarantee you that. What a tremendous matchup that's going to be.
Yeah, why would Konnan 2000 jump into this? I don't know. I'm going to have him seek psychiatric help. I wouldn't want to wrestle the Executioner or Nails.
And there you see Mr. Hughes trying to chop down a sequoia in the form of the arm of the Warlord. The crowd getting into this one, and now those thunderous forearms had no effect on Hughes.
I'll tell you right now, this is unbelievable, the size of these guys. But look at the punishment they're dishing out and trading, but nobody asking quarter, giving quarter, or falling down.
You know, Terry, unless my ears are deceiving me, over the top, my word! Oh, Hughes went for the ride. It sounds as if this crowd is siding with the Renegades. Has to be the anti-Sheik Adnan LKC sentiment here.
Man, I watched this and I'm just flabbergasted at the high impact moves both sides have. And really, we haven't seen one side go for a win yet. I guess you can't do that if nobody's on their back either.
No, they just want to punish each other. That's all they know. And right now, Hercules hammering away at Gaylord. There's a block. Gaylord throws some rights of his own here. Oh, this is men only. What a seesaw matchup. Right through the ropes onto the floor.
Oh, yeah. Up to the floor, yeah. I'd like to go up to the top rope and dive up on the double axe handle. Unbelievable, yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
What do you want, man? Are you bored?
Go snap into something, would you please?
Oh,
thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Terry, sit down.
I'm exhausted. Every time I get comfortable, somebody comes here and knocks me out of my chair.
We are down under.
It's safer for me in the ring with these 4 guys.
Oh, I wouldn't bet on that. We're down to about 15 seconds.
I changed the question. You don't want to fight me.
Bottom line, pal, take a hike.
I've had it. I can't take much. I got 5 seconds left in this round 2, and I'm getting battered.
Well, if you are referee Jesse Hernandez, How in the world do you score that one? The first one was rated dead even. I didn't see a clear-cut advantage in that round either.
No, and I'm glad I don't have Jesse Hernandez's job. I don't want to have to score this. What I'd really like to do is be judging the ring girls.
I'm sure you would. Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues. Stay with us. Round 3 is coming up. This great matchup, tag team action, here in the American Wrestling Federation. Back we are, ladies and gentlemen, and this brawl continues. The team of the Renegades with Mr. Hughes and Hercules on the opposite side of the ring. Of course, managed by Konnan LKC. Both rounds rated even by referee Jesse Hernandez as we go into round 3, and it continues high-impact brawling.
Yeah, I think the only way somebody's going to win a round here is by crippling somebody, or maybe, I don't know, ICU. Somebody gets put into the intensive care unit, that way they'll win a round.
And, you know, I'm thinking, Terry, the winner of this one goes on to face the team of Brett the Hammer Valentine and Luscious Tommy Rich. I'm not sure we're going to see any scientific wrestling in that one, regardless of which team comes out of this alive.
Yeah, but what would happen if Hughes and Hercules won this? What a drop kick! And they had to go against the Sheik's other team of Ron Powers and Fidel Sierra. 1, 2, oh! Boy, that's hanging on by the skin of your teeth.
I'm sure that if that happened, Konnan LKC couldn't care less. He'd have a winner either way. All he cares about is the money.
Wow. You know what kills me about Mr. Hughes? He's still got those sunglasses on and that earring. If it had been me and I was in bad shape, I'd stick my right finger through that earring, yank it. I don't know if that'd do anything more than make you mad, but he is tough.
Oh, double tough, to quote a legendary broadcaster.
Well, thank you for calling me a legendary.
Oh, come on. From behind, Hughes nails Jeff Gaylord into the ring apron.
Wait a second.
Oh, it's broken loose. Big 4-man.
Coach, sit down. What are you doing?
I'm getting out of here. I got a plane to catch.
Wait a minute. I had to interview Orton, and he was upset.
This one is over. This one is over. The bell has sounded.
Since Resnick's not here, why don't you interview the winner here? Get up there and interview these guys. All 4 of them.
I can't. I'm losing my voice.
You're losing your nerve. I'm not doing it. Look at these guys. Off the edge, kick to the belly. Boy, these guys look like they're a little bit out of gas, but they're still going for it.
You have about a half a ton of humanity out there. More than that, just pounding on each other. Referee Hernandez better. Where is Alperstein? Where is President Paul Alperstein?
He's like you. He's into tall grass. Here comes some more officials to break it up. Look at the referee holding Hughes so Gaylord can hit him. Maybe the Sheik bumped that referee.
Oh, I sincerely doubt that. This is going absolutely haywire. Get our cameraman out of the way.
The referees are just telling these guys to quit. They don't want to get hurt, and I don't blame them for what Alperstein pays. It's not worth getting crippled.
Hey, if I'm Bill Alfonso and I see Gaylord and Hercules punching each other, I'm in the next county. I got news for you.
Wait a minute. If these guys eliminate each other, then the referees won't have to worry about this kind of thing. Let them go, Jesse. Let them go, Alfonso.
You know, Terry, we knew this going in. Wow. This was going to be a brawl for men only, and it has turned out to be just that way. Look at the restraining Hercules. In the meantime, Hughes attacks Gaylord from behind now.
Wait a second. This means both of these teams have been eliminated. They are out of the tournament. Why are they still going after each other? The tournament's out of the mix now.
Gaylord is hanging there like a piece of raw meat in the butcher shop. Oh, how do you stay with this one? The fans are absolutely exhausted. 4 giants of the wrestling world spent 2.5 rounds beating the living you-know-what out of each other.
Now, what's he talking about? Your hands do not go up. You are not in the tournament. You have been eliminated. So is that team. Looks like Valentine and Rich have done it again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to get some semblance of order here. Right now, standing by with Tito Santana is our friend and colleague, Chris E. Take it away.
It's my pleasure to be here with the world champion of the AWF, Tito Santana. Tito, I want to get right to the point and address this issue of Cowboy Bob Orton harassing you and claiming that you're dodging him for a chance at the title.
Well, it's becoming a pain, Chrissy. I'm not afraid to tell you. You know, Cowboy Bob Orton,
claiming that I dodge you, that I don't want to wrestle you. Well, let me tell you something. I have a responsibility as the champion of the American Wrestling Federation, as the world champion. I have a schedule to keep, and it's a busy one, and I've been keeping it, and I guarantee you this belt is going to stay around my waist for a long time. I don't make my schedule. The championship committee makes my schedule, and when they tell me to wrestle you, that's when I will wrestle you, and only then.
Well, you heard that, Cowboy Bob. Now let's go back to ringside with Mick and Terry.
Arriba!
Well, thank you, Chris E. and Tito Santana, certainly responding to the challenge of Cowboy Bob Orton Jr.
All righty then, let's look at the American Wrestling Federation Championship Tournament brackets. We've seen Johnny Gunn and Jimmy Powers. They won against the Hangman. They're going up against Charlie Norris, the Chief from your neck of the woods, and Tom Zink. We saw Hercules and Mr. Hughes and the Renegades in an all-out war, disqualifying each other. Everybody's eliminated, and look at this. Valentine and Rich are in the semifinals without ever wrestling a match.
And don't you know Suave loves that.
Coco Beware and Mr. USA Tony Atlas are going to take on the Sheik's team of Sierra and Ron Powers. And we saw Chris Adams and Konnan 2000 beat the SST. They will take on Nails and the Executioner, the two that put out Chris Adams' original partner, Too Cold Scorpio.
For Ken Resnick, Chrissy, and Terry Taylor, this is Mick Hart. So long, everybody, for the Warriors of Wrestling.
You've made the right choice with the American Wrestling Federation. So until next week, you're dismissed.